Welcome back, Adventures with Dr. Joe. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a nice variable speed grinder and change it from a grinder to a buffer. And the best way to do that is to get some nice buffing wheels and start to take these apart so that we can replace the grinding stone wheels with these buffer wheels. This grinder has really nice threaded knobs that secure the guard, the outside part of the guard to the main body. That makes it easy to take apart. Once the guard's off, we need to loosen the nuts. And remember, the one on the right is like a normal nut, and you tighten it clockwise. When you move this one clockwise, it loosens because this is a left-handed thread, and so we're going to loosen it this way. And I already loosened it, but that's how that one comes off. So it's opposite. And then here's the stone. Let's move the shield out of the way. So these are the stones. And to really make the buffer useful, the most useful, I'm going to take this whole guard apart. So we'll take these 3 screws that hold that guard apart and pull that out. The buffer works best when you've got the ability to move all around it, so we need to get rid of this guard. This guard's held on by 3 screws with lock washers. They're machine screws. And then we'll immediately put on our new buffing wheel. But before we do that, we need to again put this large washer back on. Going to put our new buffing wheel on. A second washer. And then the nut, which again is a reverse thread. Second wheel we'll also remove the guard, take the cover off, but put a different buffing wheel on it. This one's finer, a finer wheel, linen wheel, not this coarser wheel. So that's typical with a coarse wheel and then a fine wheel. And then we'll get ready to take that off. So to take the wheel off, you can either hold it, you could wedge something in here, but I've loosened it already. And there that comes off. And now we're going to take the cover off. And then I'm going to put these screws back into the motor so I'll always know where they are. In the event sometime in the future I want to restore this to a grinder again. So we'll just take these off. And put them right back in to the holes where they came from, so we'll never misplace them. That's something I frequently do when I'm taking something apart, just so I know where the screws or nuts or bolts or whatever are, and helps me with reassembly. So now we'll put the flange on, this buffing wheel, finer linen one, second flange, and the normal right-hand thread nut, and we'll tighten it up. That's pretty good. I'll just sneak back here and tighten. What happens with these is that typically they'll tighten as they spin, so we don't really have to have these nuts that tight. But now, let's take a look at this buffer. All right, so now basically we've got a nice buffer. Let's turn the speed all the way down, fire it up, and it's pretty nice. We'll put some of this Jackson Lee compound on it. It's a yellow compound. And then we'll put this white compound over here. And we can do some buffing. Just for a demonstration, we'll take this cap, which is the end of a Wilton bullet vise, and we'll just polish a little bit of it. And you can see the dark coming on this wheel, that's metal coming off. Because buffing is an abrasive maneuver, but very fine. And you can see already how nice and shiny that segment is. Now we'll do it over here. I mean, literally, this is super shiny. Now it's not smooth. I need to do some auto body work on this, but look at how fine that buffed out in comparison to these other areas. So that's what buffing's all about. So here are the guards we took off. I'm going to save those and mark them. Here are the wheels we took off. I'm going to mark those too. Polishing. This is a nice bar, a nice compound. The white is finer, so a little more coarse buffing, finer buffing. But that is converting a grinder, which is variable speed, which is ideal for buffing because you don't like to necessarily go at full speed. A typical grinder spins at 3,600 RPM. This will go all the way down to 900. So I think this has a big advantage. Variable speed. It's just going to give us better performance for our buffer. And again, this turns into a great variable speed buffer from a grinder. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. Click like. I appreciate that. Take care.